numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your door and I'ma catch those. Mexicans, I make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Never save no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point your car.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man, check the wrist, man. Got him hot, ayy. Man, can't ball like this, man. Lord, pass the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ayy, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ayy, she wanted like me cause I claim she can't count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit up my ex. She like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point your car.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, a great sight to see. Alex Smith back at the helm, leading the Washington Redskins as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs,
Lone Star State, in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Washington Redskins. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Dallas Cowboys. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
53, Mike 53. Hey, D-line, let's get in there.
And a flag out right away, and I believe our day will begin with a 1st and 15. Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
I got you.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Touchdown, Cowboys! Michael Gallup with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Smith. His throw incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Out of the gun, Smith. And this one completes a read. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time. Good
blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. The first down run for Elliott will net him about 5 yards. It's 2nd down. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
23 yards the pickup there. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
4 yards there on
a running back at this size, at these dimensions. I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing is Smith. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Love. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year. Franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 31-yard line. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. The Redskins with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On first down, here's Love. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
This is Geis trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Smith now to throw. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that 3rd down pass. Brings up 4th. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays and give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away, maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. He's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a big one, might be able to get the win and the 1,000 yards.
Seems like he just wants to let it come to him. Play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get hot? Formations, route running.
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance, past the 20, and he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. 13 games going on here in this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Throwing on second down. Smith. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down. The Redskins on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Smith. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them the lead, and they feel really good about how they're playing. I think he expects.
He's got a man complete. A big play here for Dallas. 48 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Prescott to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more.
And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. It seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a stretch.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Smith. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Smith hands off to Geis. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout?
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now Austin. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is there this time for the sack. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Here's Austin. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's Elliott. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie. And this is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 17th touchdown now on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
Man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back to the air. Smith on 2nd down. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Running to start the drive is Love. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up being, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided.
And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, 53 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic,
my grandmother did the same. It smells terrible. A running play on 1st down will get 4 up to the 29. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Out of the gun, Geis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. A shotgun snap for Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins 1st. Smith now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. And he finds the tight end Reed. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Smith. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We find Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it?
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Throwing on third down, Smith. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And these guys locked into that number 1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So that doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
They'll buy some time right. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. Touchdown, Cowboys! Dalton Schultz, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On the draw, this is Love. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the curl.
Here's Smith. From the gun, he'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. He's got his man. This is Jackson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back to throw, Smith. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Smith. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Complete. Richardson has it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. Over the middle, complete. It's Love. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. To the air again, Smith. It's hauled in by Doxson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Geis alone in the backfield here. 2nd and goal. Now Smith. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down. And they may be going backward here. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Caught on the right side, Reed. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
Keep it up.
Again, Smith. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL.
It got his man complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Dallas, they as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Washington, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles